Hi, my name is Catherine Urrutia, and I am going to go over this project kickoff and implementation PowerPoint that discusses basically the benchmark combining all of the different phases, phase 1, 2, and 3. The problem statement is here. So basically, E. coli is a bacteria that can be found in food items causing contamination and negative symptoms in consumers. This in turn causes outbreaks that affects the business in a negative manner. Now, this is the issue that is going to be then analyzed, solved throughout the implementation of a project. This will be overseen by various departments, various team members, leadership as well, in order to correct the outbreak issue and most definitely correct it in order to create a anti-contamination solution. The stakeholders that are involved in this are the suppliers, investors, communities that surround the business area, employees, customers, as well as the government. Chipotle is a very well-known organization throughout the nation and even worldwide. It is essential for all of these stakeholders to have a good understanding of what is occurring and what the problem is and how we are going to be solving that. The suppliers are involved because they are the ones providing the different Chipotle locations with these food items. Investors, of course, is a big concern to them as not only their big priority, but the return of investment is a big issue concerning them. The communities around Chipotle is in various metropolitan areas, big cities, even small cities, and just being recognized for such a cause can be very negative. So community is involved, employees as well, they are part of the issue and solution. So that is the great part. Customers are those individuals that are eating these items, and they are the ones going and purchasing, and it is essential that the solution benefits them most importantly. Lastly, the government, with the Food and Drug Administration, it's very important to ensure that the company is following all of those necessary protocols in order to then stay in government compliance. The proposed solution, there's three main things that need to be targeted. The first being an anti-contamination process. This is essential in order to ensure that all of those involved in the food handling, just overall business, or have a good understanding of what an anti-contamination process is. That will begin at the first stages, and there is a timeline coming up in which we will discuss this more. Hygiene training and certification, this is something that we want to implement in the project in order to ensure that all of those, whether they are in headquarters, at the actual restaurants, or wherever it may be, are able to then get the proper training for hygiene, which can definitely prevent the contamination. Close examination prior to shipping. This is something that we believe is very important. If there's close examination prior to the shipping, it can help in preventing the contamination of E. coli. This is whether that the refrigeration temperatures are accurate, that proper pesticides, if any, are being used. Ideally, everything would be organic, but due to cost and other issues, most likely some of these crops are being either genetically modified or being used or being, I guess, harvested with pesticides as well. The timeline, this proposed timeline is to be used within a year span. We want the food placement, which means that the organization finds a need for product and then places that order essentially. So let's say Chipotle across the nations are running low on avocados, then an order is placed to all of those different farmers, suppliers, in order to then increase either the harvest of the item or just preparation for upcoming season. The harvest and growth, this is really important in the process because we want to ensure that we are taking care of the crops properly, especially because there is so many live fruits, vegetables being used, as well as the cattle, chickens, and they also do pork products. We want to ensure that the growth of these animals is again well maintained, as well as meets the government regulations and policies. Product review, this would be prior to shipping and delivery. Basically have a team established that are able to test in an efficient manner the quality of the items that are being sent out to these various locations of Chipotle. Shipping and delivery, this is an essential part, again, just referring back to the refrigeration and handling of product and to our consumer, which is very, very, very important because we want to ensure that these customers have the proper products in their meals that are not contaminated with any sort of bacteria, in this case, E. coli. The communication plan, this is more related back to the stakeholders. We do want to keep this internal and then actually develop an external material as well. Internal would be more detailed, as well as include data that is not released to the public. As companies do this, a presentation and email communication are one of the two main things that we want to do. The presentation being that to leadership within the organization. It needs to be clear, precise, accurate, as well as have the most up-to-date data as possible. It is essential that this information is communicated very clearly as it is going to be in a face-to-face format. Email communication should also be easy to read, include important points, and also have resources available to those that are reading it, whether that be an FAQ page, contact information, or just explanation of terminology. This is really essential as it could be external as well as internal. And these are some of the references that were used in order to develop this presentation. Thank you so much.